podcast. It was the first one of the season, though, of the new 23-24 season. Arsenal 2, Nottingham Forest 1. As you can see, I'm already joined by Steve. It's been a long summer, Steve, since we've seen each other. How have you been doing?
Yeah, I've been all right. It's been a good 3 months, 2 months, 3 months, something like that, isn't it? June, isn't it? I think.
End of May, I think it was. Yeah, last time we had. Yeah, so it's been a while. So a good summer. Non-Arsenal
barbecuing and all that sort of stuff, and missing football as you always do, don't you?
Yeah, it's so quicker. It's come along quicker this time around, but it is what it is. But yeah, we are expecting someone else to be joining us, Sam. The link has been sent to him, but when he joins us, I'll send it. I'll put him into. When Sam joins us backstage, I'll bring him into the stream itself. But apart from that, we'll get into it. In terms of Saturday, second game of the season itself. In terms of second game kicking off the season, first early kickoff. Delayed by half hour because I predicted it. The ticketing system of forcing everyone to go digital. This was going to happen, and it affected everyone. Literally, I'm getting there. It's like, oh, by the way, and it was. I came in from the Arsenal station across Kenfire Bridge, and even around there was absolutely run. I think bloody hell, half hour till kick off and all that. Even a bit late, people. But it turns out no, all the turnstiles. The system just broke down basically and wouldn't let anyone in. I was like, okay, oh, fantastic. Then I get stuck going around to where my turnstile will get stuck in the bloody figured point where they showed on camera of them the bird's eye view. And I was stuck amongst that for about 20 minutes. And I'm just, because it got to a point where everyone just stood there. Even though people could actually move beyond, they said, no, we're going to stand here and wait. Because as soon as they got, then we got wind that obviously the kickoff was delayed till 1 o'clock. There's one kid in particular, I'd say about 5, 6, something like that. He started to get panicky and feeling ill and all that, so literally had to get him out because obviously I want anything happening to him. But as we say this, Sam's just joining us backstage. There we go. Let's bring Sam in. Seriously.
Technology not working, not letting me in either. Has he got a pass?
Do you run the turnstiles at the Emirates?
So I was checking your ID. Sorry.
No, basically that's Arsenal getting involved because literally as soon as I start slagging off Arsenal and their system, my Wi-Fi's even I've got a booster working. No, not going to work now. So I'm like, oh, fantastic. But Arsenal, if you are listening, this is the sort of thing you sort of test out. Not for 2 games before the end of the season. You test it out here and there throughout the season, and flesh out the little icks before you go full on. You don't just do 2 games and then go full on. Because this happens, and you make yourself look like an embarrassment. You piss off the fans, the match-going fans. You're pissing off the broadcasters as well because they're having to delay. And it's just wasn't worth it. At one point, I'm outside turnstile waiting to get in, and I'm thinking, you know what? It's pissing down the rain at this point as well. And I'm thinking, you know what? Is this a sign today that it's going to go against us? We're going to do a top and just go, all right, hey, hi Forest. Remember us back in May? Here's another 3 points. I was dreading it at that point, but thankfully we did get out with those 3 points. 10 minutes aside where we fell apart, but yeah, it is what it is. But Sam, how have you been doing as well?
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I wasn't quite sure this was happening, to be honest. A bit late there, but anyway, I managed to jump on the link. No, it's good to see you guys. Good to see you, Steve. I haven't seen you for a while.
Yeah, it's been a few months, mate, isn't it?
A bit as a gentleman in the house here, I better be on my best behaviour this evening. And it's I to be truthful, I didn't see the game live yesterday, but I have seen extensive highlights and quite a lot of the game. So I think I have got enough information to make some valid comments. But yeah, I mean, I feel sorry for you guys who were there, who had to experience all that stuff before the game and everything with the ticketing nightmare and all of that. I mean, that's just a complete shambles, isn't it?
Just a tad, but yeah. But I called it. I said the way they forced down the system, like, no matter what, no matter how the testing went on Palace and Wolves back into last season, no matter what, this is where we're going next season, full steam ahead, no matter what. And then I just knew it was a disaster waiting to happen. That, and you've got the ballot system now. It was a complete disaster waiting to happen. But I got home and found out I got an email about 20 past 12 in the afternoon that day. Oh yeah, by the way, kickoff's been delayed. We'll look into it. Get back. We'll inform you what's gone on. I've had nothing since. Yeah, it is what it is. But it's frustrating because obviously you just wanted to get there and enjoy the day for it. We didn't need. There was no need for that as well. And then the following, I don't know if it was a thing, but the following day, Brentford had no water in their stadium.
Yeah, that's another thing, wasn't it? Yeah,
that's the first, isn't it? I can't remember that ever happened before. Can't walk to the pitch, could they? Couldn't walk to the pitch or something.
Someone didn't turn the water mains on.
Basically, yeah. Cut off all the water mains going into the stadium. They couldn't walk the pitch. Couldn't get drinking water. Do cups of teas or coffees.
Yeah.
People couldn't wash their hands and flush the toilet. Nothing. So that'd be interesting. That would have been interesting yesterday.
Yeah, good. And then you got Little Luton Town with their shambles of a stadium. I wonder how that's going to go.
Well, because of their shambles of a stadium, they ain't playing next week, are they? They've postponed their game.
Yeah.
Instead of rearranging it, so but they go to Burnley next week instead. Oh no, we have the week off. I think you need to get playing, mate. You need to learn the league quick.
Yeah.
As I said on Saturday,
they look terrible. They look terrible in their opening game.
Literally, and as I said in my match of the day stream on Saturday, watching it all on the highlights, what they were doing, you 9 times out of 10, 8% of the time, you can get away with that in Championship. You can't get away with what they were doing on and off the ball defensively on Saturday against Brighton. That's Brighton, for fuck's sake. Imagine what Man City would have done to them.
And talk about the old because I watched all the highlights on the match of the day as well, and the old commentator's curse of death. When he was basically saying that player, I can't remember his name now, it's a difficult name, but the player who made that, that absolute mess up of a mistake trying to flick the ball over his head.
Oh yeah, I think inside
the 6-yard box, basically facing goal, he's going to try and flick the ball over an attacker's head to try and get him like he's out of the middle of the pitch somewhere. I can't remember his name, but the commentator was talking about him just before that, saying I think he's the only player now in Luton that's been through the whole league system with them.
From the Conference League to League 2, League 1,
all the way up. So he's their last player from the original lot, which is a fantastic achievement, really, when you think about it. But then he goes and does that. It's like, okay, maybe you are a conference player.
Just a tad. And the rest of
it's going to be a long season for him, isn't it? It's going to be a long season for him.
Oh yeah. Well, I've already predicted before Saturday, but I've said it on this channel on Saturday. This is a potentially Derby County 07-08 squad situation here now.
Was it 11 points they ended up on? Was it the record? Was it 11 points?
One win all season and a few draws.
I think it was 11 points they ended up on, which is the record.
I believe it was. Yeah, I'll double check it a bit, but yeah.
Yeah.
Mind you, they'll go down with a few bob in their pocket, won't they, for next season?
Yeah.
All the extra gate revenues from big clubs. I mean, they won't do badly out of it, will they? But they probably won't be able to sign any top players on top money because
I wonder if we'll finally get in the Premier League with Luton and the standard they're showing at the moment. I wonder if we'll finally get a double-digit win against them. Not us personally. Well, I'd love it if we did, but like a Man City or a Newcastle or a Chelsea or something, they're going to pull off a 10-0 or a 10-1 win.
Possible, isn't it? Possible.
Yeah.
Possible, especially when they defended on Saturday. Bloody hell, that's again, that's Brighton, Man City. That's Man City, like we mentioned in the chat. Man City will.
Man City at the Etihad. Man City at Etihad. Oh my God.
I think Haaland's got 9 in one game, isn't he, when he was a youngster? So perhaps he could go one better.
Yeah, Haaland could probably get like a triple hat trick or something. Yeah.
He's unbelievable. He scores for fun, doesn't he? Really?
Yeah. We hadn't scored for a while. He hadn't scored in like 5 or 6 games.
Yeah.
And then that's it. He just does it when he needs to, right? That's it,
Right place, right time, hit the target. Yeah. Anyway, enough about City.
Yeah, enough about them. 11. I was looking down on Wikipedia. 11 points Derby County had. That's it.
11 points. Yeah.
And their goal difference. Gee, I didn't know it was that bad. It's -69. I think they might break that record.
Oh my God, that's bad. Is that when they had? Who did they have? Do you remember who they had as manager at that time?
The Scottish guy at first, and then Paul Jordan in the end of it. I can't remember his name now.
Yeah.
Oh, Billy something. He ended up at Forest as well. It ended up being one of the managers to go between Derby and Forest. He ended up at Forest at one point a few years. Billy Davis, I think it was.
Yeah,
He's a Scottish guy that got promoted, and obviously didn't start obviously well, so he got sacked. And then Derby, in their infinite wisdom, brought in Paul Jewell, and that worked out a wonder, didn't it?
Oh, Jewell, yeah, he was. Wasn't there a while where he was like sort of thought of as quite a promising manager, and then he went somewhere and just completely effed up.
Yeah, because he took over at Wigan and got them promoted for the first time in their history and kept them sustained in the league. And then obviously he got a bit big bucks about himself as well after he left Wigan.
Yeah,
and his career just completely capitulated after that. Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Adebayor scored 2 hat-tricks. Adebayor.
Adebandor, as I used to call him.
Oh dear. Luton finished with 14 points, 3 wins. Where are they getting the 3 wins from? I don't know that one. That'd be an interesting.
Well, it's the old saying. Even a broken grandfather clock's right twice a day, isn't it? The law of averages. They're going to beat someone, aren't they? With like a last minute corner or something like that in a drab rain-filled waterlogged pitch somewhere.
But the thing is, Tom, because Tom mentions Bournemouth pummeling last year against Liverpool, there's a difference. At least Bournemouth had previous Premier League as a club Premier League experience, and also the club acted on it. And they sacked the guy, and they brought in someone within to work within what they had that kept them up on the budget. Plus, it also, unlike Luton have had to spend most of their money coming up to refurb their stadium to be Premier League spec. Because if they hadn't spent any money on their stadium, they didn't have the capacity, so to say, to put in the VAR system or the goal line technology system because of the way that stadium's made up, basically. And they've brought a load of Championship bog standard players along the way, apart from Ross Barkley, and even he's telling of his career.
And we remember another team, Stefan in the chat, one of our favourite regulars. He's going to remember very fondly in the 90s another 9-0 pummeling. Wasn't it with 9-0? I don't think they scored a goal, did they? Good old Ipswich.
9-1 was it? I think it was 9-1.
Was it 9-1? Ipswich managed to score a goal, but they got a nice, 9-1 drabbing? Was it against Man United?
Yeah, Roy Keane getting. When Roy Keane scoring against them and smiling, you got something to be worried about.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's look.
I think that's back when they had what's his face in was it John Walker's in defence and that.
I think I'll stick a 10 on Allardyce coming in January to keep him up.
You're upsetting me.
Well, yeah. We've got to. We're good journalists here. We've got to be balanced. When you talk about Bournemouth, we've got to talk about Ipswich.
Yeah, got to phone Wigan as well. Says Tom. Wigan lost 9-1 to Spurs. Well, I say Spurs. Let's be honest. And Wigan that season stayed up, no problem. Ipswich, I believe they stayed up that season 9-0. That's a record. That's a record. Put the highest scoring Premier League scoreline in the 30 odd years of its existence.
Yeah, I remember being amazed when they managed to do it, even though Ipswich weren't great. Sorry, Stefan, with all due respect, they weren't great, were they, that season? But 9 goals, I was still amazed they managed to score 9 goals.
It does come back and say it was an amazing side, an amazing United side, to be fair. It was, but at the same time, it's
the better ones, wasn't it?
And like you mentioned, I think there's a possibility if Luton don't learn from these mistakes and quick. Come the time they play Man City or Arsenal or even United, that imagine that, Jesus, it could be we could be looking at a 10 plus goals win basically.
10 goals.
Because they
help our goal difference, wouldn't it? We need to be careful with our goal difference with City, because they seem to pull away a lot, don't they, with their goal difference?
Can COVID come back and sort of throw them 2 games in, so we have a chance to catch some goal difference? Oh dear. But back to the game on Saturday though. Again, you were saying you've seen the snippets and all that of it. What was your takeaway from the game itself? Obviously,
I'll just start off with, I was not very happy personally. In my opinion, I wasn't very happy with the lineup. I thought playing Partey as a, whatever you want to call it, hybrid right-sided defender, inverted midfield or whatever the hell you want to call type of hybrid position he was playing. I didn't really like that. I don't think that really worked for us very well. And again, I think Martinelli had a good game. And Nketiah scored, bless him. He scored, but I still would rather have seen Trossard start the game, because I think he deserves it. He's been our best player so far. So I was a bit disappointed with the lineup, and I don't think that really helped us. I just want to call it tinkering, really, from Mikel Arteta, just tinkering around a bit because it's Forest. He's like, oh, we can do this, and I know not having Timber sort of forced him to do things as well. But no, the way we started, even with Timber, I don't think was really the best way. I don't think we needed to tinker like that. I think we could have used a standard back 4. And I think this is the problem. I think, he's trying to figure out how he's going to configure that midfield. And that's something I'm a little bit worried about, that, it might be a bit, it might hold us back a bit. But anyway, apart from that, I think we looked pretty good, didn't we, the first half, and we had a few chances and should have had a couple of goals, really.
Yeah, again, the first half itself in general was pretty much us doing the majority of the ball, because it's just straight from the off. You saw what Forest's plan was, just to sit back, soak up any pressure we gave them and try and do us on the counter. That was their plan all along. As you'd expect from that, with all due respect to the teams like Forest, that are trying to, at any point of the season, trying to do what they can to get something out of a game like that to boost their survival hopes going forward. Especially again, it's match day 1. They're away from home against one of the title not the title favourite, but one of the title favourites. They got pummeled last year to us by 5-0. So there's always that going to be in the back of their head. They didn't want to start the season on the back of a pummeling and all that. So I understand what they're doing. In terms of what not, I said to a few people, just the V-up, because obviously there's a few people about the Partey situation, the Partey being right back and this, that, and the others. Like, if we played, this is my opinion, if we played a stronger opposition opening game or any game, Arteta doesn't mess about like that. He plays his best players in their best position.
I hope so. Yeah, I hope so.
It's just screamed that because it's Forest, because we're expected to win, he's gonna try it here and there and give the Kai Havertz, Declan pivot a chance to build a bond basically along the way as well. But also needed because Partey's still with us. Need to give him some game time. I don't want to upset him, so put him at right back or wing back or inverted, whatever.
Yeah, whatever he was. But you see on the heat map though. On the heat map, that he was predominantly out on the
midfield.
right side, you know, playing that right back position.
Yeah. Aside from that, though, I mean, as I say, we did what we expected to do, got our foot on the ball. We played up the home team. Eventually, the breakthrough goal, Martinelli with assist, as I've mentioned in the top, as I put in the title already. Martinelli gets assist of the season. You will not
That is amazing, wasn't it? That's
you
amazing.
will not see a better assist all season from anyone. I don't care what you say. To have the audacity at any point of the season to do that, and then for it to then work out, and then obviously Eddie to score the goal. I was happy for Eddie because, like last year when Jesus got injured, there's a lot of pressure on him. Again, myself included, I wasn't impressed with him in pre-season because he'd been very quiet. He wasn't doing what he did on Saturday, which was get involved, get stuck in, ask questions of the defence. Saturday he decided to do it, and we saw that he reaped his reward for it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's fantastic. And hopefully there's a confidence booster for him for the next few games. We do need him until Jesus is back, fully recovered from the whatever he had to have taken out of his, whatever fluid he had to have taken out of his knee a few weeks ago. And then Saka. I mean, Saka's just Saka. He ain't cooling down at all. This lad has not stopped playing football for God knows how long, for club or country. He didn't really get a break international during the summer either. It was like internationals, a week or two later, pre-season, he's off in the States, and then we were obviously now in the season. And now we're seeing more and more. Every time we see him, he's not afraid to have a shot outside the box. That goal, as soon as he left his foot, I knew it was going in.
Great goal. Great goal.
Fantastic goal. And I'm loving that no fear attitude still. And again, it's sending out a message as well that he ain't going anywhere himself. He's, no matter what happens in terms of performance-wise or results-wise for the team, he ain't going nowhere. And I'm loving it. What did you make of the debutantes, though, in terms of, I'll go to Steve on this first, with Kai, Declan and Timber all starting?
Yeah, I think he's now got a lot of good players, and he's trying to fiddle around with playing them in different positions, isn't he, and trying to get the best balance. And I don't think he's quite got that yet with the players he's got. Trouble with Havertz, he's sort of, where's he going to play? I mean, he's what, £70 million player. He's got to play find his best, but he's obviously not going to be a striker. He's just not got that natural finishing touch, I don't think. I mean, if you look at his goal scoring averages the last couple of seasons at Chelsea, they weren't particularly great. But having said that, he's now playing with a much better side and much more creative side. So, yeah, I just thought overall, I thought the game was okay, but we seem to be getting in this habit of getting 2-0 up and then almost taking the foot off the gas, don't we? And then sort of the other teams get a bit more confidence, then we're hanging on. It shouldn't be like that, should it? We should be 2, 3, 4-0 up, and then we can take the foot off the gas. But yeah, I don't really get why they're messing around with positions. But partly for me, he's got to play in the central midfield. You know, defensive midfield. That's his position. Playing in whatever hybrid, you know, all these wizardry words they're coming out with for these players. I know players, you know, technically can play anywhere, can't they? But play your best players in their best positions. That's your starting point, and then go from there. You wouldn't suddenly put Saka in central midfield because you want to play a certain way, would you? So, you know, why play around with, you know, you have Tommy Asu sitting on the bench. You know, he would be our recognised right back if Ben White's going to play in the middle. You know, why stick Gabriel on the bench? You know, why break up, you know, a solid back four? But you know, he decided to do that, and it sort of worked, but it didn't. You know, against a better team, he might have struggled more, I think.
Yeah, if he did. Yeah, like I say, if he did that against an Aston Villa, Newcastle, and City, Man United, or Liverpool, we would get punished. If he did that, I'll be asking more questions because there's no need for doing that in them sort of games. You put your best players in their best positions and off you go and see what happens. And if you need to do tactical switches in the game, that's what you do, not before in them sort of games. I just think it's a bit of an arrogance thing with how we did last season in terms of league position and all that. Because we have got a bit more depth to us now. He's sort of you know, even with the Jesus and now. Don't know what's happening with Timber officially yet. We need official word on that, but it's not looking good apparently from what people are putting out there. But we're waiting to official word from Arsenal. even then, it's like the tinkering about again. I didn't get why Gabriel was on the bench either. That's the one thing that didn't get me. But I saw part. I'm thinking maybe Gabriel's injured, and he's on the bench. I'm like, well, hang on. Why?
He said for tactical reasons, didn't he, in the press conference?
Well, the tactical. It's all again. It's worked out in the sense that we got the win in the end. Obviously, in the end, but we need to, especially seeing City win 3-0 in front of it, like not even 24 hours prior against Burnley the night before. Send out a message back and say we ain't going anywhere. We're going to go toe to toe with you as well. And for me, there was no need to do this tactical right wing back inverted, whatever party it was. Gabriel on the bench, Ben White, and like Steve says, messing about with a settled back line that we've been working with for the majority of this summer.
And last season, Saliba got injured. Those two would have pretty much played every game through the season, wouldn't they? Saliba and Gabriel.
Yeah,
Gabriel has been
a great partnership, aren't they?
Yeah, so Gabriel's our number one left-sided centre back. So why, dismantle that just for what? Just to get Timber in the side, or to get
it was tactical, and I believe it's because he wanted to try and predominantly use like a back three with a Partey helping sort of where it suited type of thing. To me, it just seemed like a bit of a mess, and I agree with you, Steve. He's just got to, and you, Ryan, we've got to stick to our best back four and because we managed to do that last season, play really well, score loads of goals. Why can't we just stick to that when it works? That's what I don't get. This tinkering around, it annoys the hell out of me.
Exactly. It's the start of the season as well. It's not like we've got Champions League football midweek either. We've got until after the international break before that comes into play. So for the first few weeks, going into the season, as I said, we always do, like we just said, full team ahead, and only when obviously Champions League's underway, we know where we've got to travel to in Europe and all that for Champions League, week to week, every other fortnight or whatever. If you have to do a tactical switch and do it in Europe against the lesser team, the lesser team in the group, do it against them. No,
what worries me. It worries me a little bit. Sorry, Ryan. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead, finish.
I was just going to say, I get that he wants to keep the opposition of all the managers on their toes. He doesn't want to come across predictable in terms of starting 11s, this, that, and the other. But in this instant, especially after seeing Man City beat Burnley comfortably, we needed to do the same to Forest. And we looked like at one point it did look like we're going that way, but you could tell after a while Partey was struggling in the right back, and he needed. And obviously, but then Timber then going off and Tommy Ashley coming on for him, and then Gabriel coming on after in the last few minutes. It could have backfired a lot worse against, as you say, against a better team on another day. It could have been a lot worse, but it wasn't. We got out of there in the end with 3 points. Again, the score. If anything, the scoreline did flatter for us because for all the criticism we're giving Arteta for the lineups and all that, and how the game ended for the last 10 or so minutes of the game, we were the more aggressive, as you'd expect, and more dominating side. And even that second half, even though the tempo had come down a bit from us, we were still trying to get that third goal. In my opinion, looking back at it, watching the game back after I got home on the other night, yes, in the 82nd minute, whenever they scored, we're at 2-0. We'd overcommitted, basically. We were so desperate to get that third goal at that point that we just overcommitted and overcommitted players got done. And then Ben White's out. He's not even in the right back, covering the right back role. He's gone pulled out, and there's that Elanga run into space, and it's like it was avoidable. But it's this game it's as much basically as game management from the players as it is Arteta's fault as well. Manage the players as well that made that. On that part of the pitch as well, they needed to use their experience. I know Saka's a young lad and all that. Not having got Saka or Ben, they're all young lads still. But they've been playing for us. Ben's been with us like his third season now, in general, the players that have been with us 2-3 years should not be making the overcommitment mistakes that they made for that goal, basically, and it could have ended a lot worse. But it didn't, thankfully. But it's a learning curve, and I think Arteta's realised that, especially now with the Timber situation, maybe not trying to be cocky and put players in square peg holes for the sake of it when they don't need to. Because now we've obviously, again, we don't know the situation in Timber. Obviously, he took a knock at the end of the first half. Looked all right, got up, walked off, and apparently he was told during the half time by the team doctor, by the way, that Timber was totally fine and he could go. And if you wanted to play him on, he could play on. This was a team doctor. The guy, by the way, the team doctor that's on his way at the door to Manchester at some point, told him that it was totally fine to play Timber. Within 2 minutes of the game kicking off the second half, Timber's on the floor. I watched the replays. I saw it from the other end of the stadium. And even as soon as that ball went near and it touched his foot and he went down straight away, you knew something. It's not good, basically. So I want to know why the team doctor didn't recognise or come across any sort of issue in his 15-minute examination of Timber at half time. Because if he'd done his job properly, clearly, Timber would have come off. Tommy Ashley would have come on a few minutes early at half time, and we're not now here sitting here waiting nervously to hear the official news from Arsenal that if it's an ACL, there's rumours going about this it's an ACL injury, not a season-ending ACL, but it's an ACL of sorts. But then we're waiting for official confirmation from the club. But we won't be sitting here. The team doctor does his job. But I'm seeing online and on other channels that Arteta's getting the flack for it. He's only going by. He asked a question of his team doctor. Should I take him off or not? He was told by his team doctor, no, Timber is fine. He can play on. So he did. By the advice he was given, he played him on. So don't get the
complex, isn't it?
Aggressive hate that Arteta's getting for that when he's taking the advice as a person he's employed in his coaching staff to help him out on that.
It's very complex. All that medical stuff is. They do have a lot of tests there available to them there in the stadium, in the medical facilities there in the stadium, in the dressing rooms. I'm sure they've done what they're supposed to do, and I really don't think it's really fair to sort of like blame the doctor. I think he's done probably what he should have done and made the assessment. And sometimes these things just don't go right. Unfortunately, we don't know if it's an ACL yet because he's doing his scans. I think the next couple of days.
So Emerson just popped into the chat and he's saying he sustained a knee ligament damage and is out for 3 to 4 months.
We don't know that yet. Because
nobody knows anything.
Nobody knows the extent of his injury yet because he's doing the scanning. He's doing the scans in the next couple of days.
Today, basically, I will say Emerson does know people that work within the club. I'm just saying.
Okay. The club announced it. It's like anything else, isn't it? Until the club announced it, they've put a statement out today. They haven't said anything.
The club announced earlier this evening that he's gonna, late this afternoon, that he's having scans the next couple of days, and we should know more then. So let's wait until we get the official word. But yeah, of course, it would be very typical if you had an ACL and he was out for 3, 4, 5 months. How typical would that be? We've got this great player who's come in, shown such promise, and we lose him straight away to an injury. How many times has that happened before?
The Arsenal person, it wasn't Partey. Partey never missed a game, did he, for Madrid?
Yeah.
As soon as he come to Arsenal, within about a fortnight, he's out. He's in and out for a whole season, isn't he? And Jesus, I don't know Jesus' injury record, but I can't remember him missing many games for City. But we just seem to be unlucky. But there's been quite a lot of bad injuries the first weekend. And Tyrone Mings seems to have done his knee completely.
Apparently he's got to have surgery, Mings, so he's going to be out for a while. Apparently,
been a few ACLs now, hasn't there? You look at the women's side as well. There's been some
ACLs. It's training, isn't it? Must be training and recovery.
Both Buendia and Mings now with ACLs.
Yeah.
You know, it's yeah, you're right. You know, there's something there, all the training and
recovery or something. You know,
And sorry, I do get what Bronco's trying to say in the chat. If we hold someone accountable, it doesn't give us timber back. I get that, but at the same time, if you're the team doctor and you're being paid, but for any club, by the way, at any sport, any level, and you're being paid a wage, and you're not getting the right diagnosis in the moment when it's needed most, you need to be held accountable.
But how would he know? I mean, I'm not a doctor, but how would he know that? Just by looking at his knee and feeling his knee.
There would have been examinations in place that they'd know of.
They can't scan him, can they? They can't put him on a scan.
No, they can't scan him, but they do a battery of movement tests. And then they're judging on where the pain is and how intense the pain is. They can sort of judge what the severity is.
But you can assume they did all that.
They've done all that. That's what they said. They said they did all the right tests.
Yes, I do get what you're saying in terms of actual scans and all that. But if you're not, you can't then say to the manager who's asking a question if he's 100% okay to come back on, say yes. Then, if you're not 100% sure, to be honest, because it's effectively the injury. Obviously, could have made the injury a lot worse. Basically, Kim going out for them 4 minutes or so, he was on the pitch again. Could have made this a lot worse by the looks of it. This could have been avoided.
Said, I'm fine, couldn't he? The player could have said, I'm fine, got no pain. I mean, it seemed like he got an impact injury, didn't he? Got an impact injury prior to that tackle, didn't he? Yeah. And whether that sort of set it off.
That's it. You know, if you think he's got an impact injury and he's, you know, they're reacting to that the impact injury is okay. You know, he can still play without any, you know, severe, you know, drawbacks to it. Then, you know, then it goes from that to an ACL. You know, it's a slightly different thing, isn't it?
Mm.
Yeah, exactly. So, but we're just unlucky with injuries, aren't we? I mean,
it's incredible. It's happened so many times.
We sign these players, and then suddenly their injury record goes out the window.
Yeah.
Well, look on the screen here. Russ is in the chat. He said, "Bed treatment was named after players was Zeki DRB real shit." I mean,
Oh, DRB, bloody hell, Jesus Christ!
But then you get other players who just never get injured, don't they? I mean, you get other players that just don't get injured. You know, it's
Xhaka, Man of Steel.
I mean, you know, I mean, it's crazy, isn't it? But I don't know. We've got players to come back, haven't we, that can play in the same position. So it's not as if we're going to, you know, go back to the drawing board, or, you know, you're not going to go out and buy another £40 million player, are you, to play in that position?
No. I think we're covered right now, aren't we? We've got enough there.
Yeah, again, I've seen a lot of people say on social media, basically, have a meltdown. It's the end of the world. Tierney does suddenly slagging off Tierney. By the way, he doesn't fit.
Tierney's a great defender.
He's a good defender. He seemed to suit the system for the last 2.5 years plus under Arteta. Obviously, last year Zinchenko came and took his spot otherwise, where he wasn't getting minutes. But suddenly, he's like the disregard. And I said this on Saturday, the disregard for bloody Ramsdale, the Raya situation, pissing me off. This disregard of players when they do so much for us, even if I know Tierney's been an injury-prone player himself in his time at Arsenal. But this sudden idea that he doesn't fit the Arteta system was a load of bollocks. I'm sorry. But the guy is, first and foremost, he's a left-back, he is a defender, and he just wants minutes. That's the whole point of it. Obviously, he wasn't in the matchday squad on Saturday. There was rumours he was looking Real Sociedad looking at him. But now this Timber situation, I personally, I'll be putting an end to that and saying, where you go. We've got a player out injured for the next few months. You're not guaranteed, but you've got a chance now to prove yourself and get your minutes back. Fight for your spot, because obviously Zinchenko, we don't know what's going on there.
You're forgetting about Tavares, though. He can come back.
I'd rather Kieran Tierney, to be honest.
He's got a great history against Forest, hasn't he?
Yeah. He's a bit quick and a bit rapid as Tavares, isn't he?
I'd rather Stepanos from back in the early 2000s than bloody Tavares. That's saying.
I was going to say, he's got a nice history against Forest, hasn't he?
Oh, yeah. last week. It'll last about half an hour, the first half. Then throw his gloves on the pitch.
We also got Kiwior, remember? Kiwior can do a decent
Kiwior,
job.
yeah, Kiwior can. But obviously, you just want that left back. Yeah.
But I would like to see Tierney given a chance at left back. I really would.
I think
he must be really sick, mustn't he? When the amount of times he's been sitting on the bench and there's been other players playing out of position in his position, if you know what I mean. You know, trying other things where you got a recognised left back sitting on the bench and you can't get on the pitch.
Yeah.
You know, so
he's
you can't let him go now. You can't let him go, can you? You can't let him go now, no matter what.
He's the most natural left back we've got, and he can't get a minute.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
As I've said in that first bench, you can't even rely on Tommy Asu. He's injury prone. He's made of biscuits. But as you say, you've got Kiwior, you can play left back. But I'd rather in this situation now, with the potential of being a 3 or 4 month situation with Timber, I'd rather keep Tierney till at least January and reassess things. And then given because obviously with Champions League, given the minutes in the league against the lesser teams, against Palace maybe next week, give him the run out. Because first and foremost, he will defend more than anything. He's a defender.
Oh yeah,
he's an old school left back. He's an old school left back in terms of how he's been moulded at Celtic. He will fucking defend.
Yep, he's solid defensively.
Yeah,
I think it's just more the inverted stuff he struggles with. He can't really do what Zinchenko's doing, and I think that's what Arteta wants. But that being said, Tierney still does what he does very well, and we can definitely make good use of that. You know, that's
and he's quick,
that's something he definitely can use.
Yeah, and I think he's obviously, I think he'll play Zinchenko when he's fit in that inverted role and Tierney be on the bench. But we've got a lot of games. Champions League. I think there's definitely a space for 2 quality left backs. There's a space for 2 quality players in each position, isn't there? Which is behind Ray. So
we're probably going to draw one of the teams in our group is probably going to be, not a very, you know what I mean, sort of not great. It's going to be from the third pot. And that's the typical, games like that. You can play Tierney and other players and rest some of our key players.
Yeah, no, exactly. And again, that's sort of my thing of come the group. Once we know our group, obviously, when the draw's made eventually, I think later in that the start of September, whenever it is, we're going to know obviously because we're in pot 2. So we'll get a team from pot 3 and pot 4, like Sam just said. They're predominantly teams that we should either way just to the side anyway, strongest team or not. With all due respect to them.
Apparently we're 6. Apparently I was reading today that we're currently across most of the recognised bookmakers. We're the 6th favourite to win the Champions League at the moment.
I'll take that because if it's our first season back in 6 or 7 years, I'll take it.
Do you think there's another stellar signing out there between now and the end of January? Do you think there's somebody that they're looking at?
Quite hard at that. What's his name from?
Kudos, is it? Kudos.
Yeah, Kudos. Yeah, I think we're looking quite hard at him. I think we need to offload a couple of players before we start looking.
Well, Balogun seems to be the stellar.
Yeah, Balogun's in advanced talks now, isn't he? With was it Monaco?
Is it? Monaco, yeah, because apparently Inter Milan have put their full interest.
Apparently, Monaco is up to 40 million. We've rejected that. I think Monaco might go a bit higher, and we'll probably take that.
It's a shame we've got to let him go, isn't it? Really, when you think of the type of player he could potentially be, why we can't find a place for him? He's obviously decided he doesn't want to stay, isn't he?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of off-field stuff there that
he's concerned, isn't he?
And outs of, we've only seen little bits of it, but I think there's a lot of off-field stuff there, and also when he's behind Nketiah in the pecking order, we can make good money from him. I say let's do that, and then we can rather spend that money on a Kudos, or I tell you, I would rather go for a striker. I really would. I miss us having a proper striker, even though I know we can technically play without one with our false 9 type of system, but you got to have a proper striker up front. All the big teams do. we got to have someone up there who's going to bang in 20+ goals. He's going to do it. We definitely need to look at that. Whether that happens now for this window, because you got to look at you're looking at probably somewhere between 80 and 100 million again, aren't you? Maybe more for a player.
Problem is prices have just gone up. I mean, what?
Yeah, it's really weird now, isn't it? All this
Caicedo going for 115 million. I mean,
it's like 100 million is the new 50 million now, isn't it? It's like everything's doubled again.
But then they're sticking him on. Well, I mean, I think Caicedo's on an 8-year contract. I mean, what happens to 4-year contracts these days? I mean, I know it's all probably down to financial fair play, isn't it? Because they can spread the payments over.
They can amortize the transfer fees
over 8 years rather than 5 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they could still go and buy him, and they're still buying Lavia, is it Lavia for about 50 million?
Yeah, but apparently they've signed a deal with him as well. Well, just about to. I'm just saying. I was calling in a chat. Another chat on Twitter. I was saying Chelsea are they're like the cuckoo birds of the world, aren't they? They go and steal other nests. They go into other nests and steal the eggs and steal the nest, don't they? That's what they love to do. It's like they peer over your shoulder while you're eating and say, "Oh, I'll take that."
Well, they would have got. I mean, if Rice was had a different mindset, he'd have gone to Chelsea probably, because they'd have paid the money, wouldn't they? Without a doubt.
Yeah, they definitely paid the money. I think Rice, thankfully, saw beyond the money and where would I rather be? Would I rather be with that mercenaries, or would I rather be with a team that's trying to achieve something? Yeah,
but if he was a different mindset, he would have gone to Chelsea, wouldn't he? If he was
just been to the money,
he was a Mudryk type player. Well, go with the money is, I love the club. I love Arsenal. I've always wanted to play for Arsenal. Oh, yeah, Chelsea.
Look at Neymar now. Neymar's gone. He's going to get 160 million a season now. Was it 160 million, something like that?
Yeah.
Saudi Arabia,
That's prices, as you say, a 50 million pound player now is 100 million. Clubs don't want to sell.
It's just completely bonkers because Caicedo, bless him, he had a good season last season. He's had one good season, but that's it now. It's like one good season, and it's going to cost 100 million.
I think Chelsea have given Brighton 230 million, haven't they? Because I'll
tell you what, Brighton they have done very well from all this. They've over 300 and something million now. They've made in pure profits.
Yeah, because these players are coming for
and they've got good players coming through. That Ferguson looks great.
Yeah.
There's the new goalkeeper they got in looks half decent. They bring players through.
Yeah. It's a great club, isn't it? And they're still performing. They're letting these players go, and they're still performing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Caicedo is he a one-season wonder? Is he going to do it? Have we dodged a bullet? I don't know.
Very good last season. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. But the thing is, now they're sport for riches again. Now, aren't they? Chelsea. They got Lava, Caicedo. It's like where they're going to find the time to play all these players all the time with the rest of them. All the other players they've bought as well now.
Well, the irony is they had a huge squad last year. That was with Champions League football. Then they sold a load of players, either Saudi Arabia or Arsenal or whoever, or Man United, and they've gone and bulked up the squad again to a Champions League level squad, depth-wise. I'm like, hang on.
Yeah,
you're literally having the entire squad in the dressing room again, and literally people are sitting on the floor like, yes, Poch, yes, Poch.
Yeah.
You just can't get a reasonably priced player now, especially if they're already in the Premier League.
Exactly. It's difficult. It's difficult because now you've got Saudi Arabia who are like, okay, if you don't want to go to one of those clubs, how about we pay you 200 million?
Yeah. If they're interested in someone, and obviously another club goes in for them, like, we see your £10 million offer. We'll raise you 110. It's like you'll be pushed out the water.
It's what they need to do to entice people to go out to the desert, isn't it? That's what they need. This is what they need to do to get people out there, and slowly but surely they're building up quite a collection of players out there, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, you could argue they're coming to the end of their careers, rather. They're not all coming to the end of their careers, are they? Some of them are. Is it Mane's gone over there, isn't he?
Mane's gone there.
Mitrovic is on his way now. He's finalising the deal.
Oh, yes, you're going there, is he?
Looks like it. He's finalising a deal. They got Neymar. He's only 31.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a few others.
Henderson's gone there. Bobby Firmino's gone there.
Yeah.
They were prepared to put enough money on the table for Mbappe, weren't they, as well? Whatever that was going to cost, they were prepared to pay that, weren't they?
Yeah, I think Mbappe just wanted rid of Neymar, really. As soon as Neymar was, I knew he was going. He was like, "Yeah, I'm staying now. Thank you."
Another year's contract.
I'll extend my contract as well while I'm here.
Yeah.
Well, he has a say in players, doesn't he? Or was that a complete lie that he had a say in players?
It's got to be true. When you're seeing players, when Messi and Neymar leaving, he's suddenly staying. It's got to be true. I mean, look at the manager he brought in. Not Enrique, the one before last season. That was based solely on Mbappe saying that I don't want a big name manager. This is who I want from Lille, and that worked out. Now he's been such a good player.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, well, there you go. But anyway, we'll see.
It's going to be interesting to see how that pans out, all that Saudi stuff, because if they turn into like a super, they're going to turn into like a super league, a mercenary super league.
You never know. They might come in with like 60, 70 million for El Neni, might they? Something like that. Or
be like, okay, there you go. Take him. He's all yours.
Oh dear. Yeah, but it just pushes the prices up, doesn't it? Because I mean, it happened when obviously Abramovich first came in with all the money and just bought everybody he wanted. And now Bowley's come in and sort of doing the same. So he doesn't have a scouting system, does he? He just uses whoever club around for a player.
He just waits to see who's going for who, and then just goes and hijacks it.
Pretty much.
They don't need a scouting system, do they? His scouting system is Fabrizio Romano. He's like, oh, they're going. All right, okay, let's just go and get him.
His management system is James Corden.
Yeah.
But Craig in the chat is saying the Saudi are looking at Arsenal defender Gabriel. This is a rumour apparently going around on social media tonight as we speak.
Thankfully, I think Gabriel is Arsenal. He's an Arsenal boy.
Also, Gabriel's just again. I think Gabriel won't want to go because he's happy at Arsenal in terms of he's just recently in the last 6 months signed a new contract extension back in the last season. Yeah. He seems happy. We're happy with him.
I think they're all on longest contracts now, aren't they? All their top players are all on longest contracts now.
Hence why my event on Saturday was about the Ramsdale situation was based on that as well. That he's just on the new contract as well. But again, if Gabriel, I don't know. This could come back and bite me in the backside. But he doesn't seem that player that just money. There's money over there. I'll go there now. I think because of how young he is, he wants to actually have something to look back on in his career, not just go and get the money now and look after himself now. He wants to go and actually achieve something with Arsenal.
Yeah, and he's got the Champions League now as well. If we hadn't qualified for the Champions League and we were still outside the top six, you would struggle to keep some of them, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
But the fact we pushed City to, arguably to the last 2 or 3 games of the season, and we're in the Champions League, and we just beat them last weekend, or the weekend before. I mean, we brought in 3 players. All right, one of them's injured, but we brought in additional firepower, and you'd want to be on board, wouldn't you? I would have thought as a younger player.
Yeah. No, exactly. And obviously, and then Vonko comes in and says, "That's why you hold on to Pepe. Saudi might do. They might surprise us."
Pepe, bloody hell!
Has he got anything left on his contract? Has he got anything left on his contract?
He's into the last year as we speak. I think. Yeah. I think that's the case.
Poor Pepe.
As we look.
Tragic.
Yeah. Play him as an inverted left back.
Yeah. Inverted right back.
Yeah, actually, right back. Yeah, put him in behind Saka. There you go. You can try and defend.
Try and defend. Try and get it.
Do you think ESR is going to break into this side at some point, or do you think he's always going to be on the fringe? He didn't get on the weekend, did he? He's sort of. Is he going to push on? I don't know. I'm not so sure.
The thing is with ESR, and of course, he's such a good player and love his attitude and character and all that. But when you look at our team at the moment and the way they've been performing, and unfortunately, ESR was out injured for a while, and it's taken him a while to get back. But you look at the way our team plays and the way it is, where would you really, obviously bring him on as a substitute? Of course, you can do that. But in terms of starting a game now, where would you start him? Because look at the moment, you can't take out Saka. You can't really take out. You can't really take out anyone along the front line. No. Martinelli's looking good now in the middle. Eddie scored. We had Trossard has been there, been playing well. Before Gabriel got injured, he was there doing well. It's like, who do you don't take Erdegaard out? He's our talisman and playmaker.
He have it, couldn't he?
It's like, the only place you could find for him is that 8 role, but he's not really an 8. He's not really an 8, is he?
No, but he scores goals though, doesn't he? He's good at arriving.
In the under-21s this summer, he did play in the left day. It looks all right again, but this is what happens. We've got depth now. We've got competition. That's
exactly.
And I'm loving it. And again, he knows that. I think the fact that he himself, after the Euro success at the 21 level, Arteta initially went to give him the going after 2 weeks off, whatever. You're committed 2 weeks and come back halfway through our US tour. And then Smith Rowe's response was, no, don't worry. I'll meet you up with you guys on Thursday, the next flight out, basically, with Partey. But the attitude from Smith Rowe, you can't fault it. And it's not going to be easy for him. And as you say, Odegaard's going to be, he's our captain as well, and he's our talisman. So he's not going to be Martinelli. There was rumours that obviously playing him he's been trained to take over where Granit was playing last year in the pivot. This is what we have for competition now. Yeah. And I think with the competitions we're going to be in, we'll be fighting on all fronts. He will get his opportunity, and he's going to have to grab it. But I think there's a lot of pressure to take because of the depth in that area. There's a bit of pressure taken off him as well that he doesn't have to play every game once he comes back into the lineup, be it starting or whatever. He can now be gradually worked back in and fight whatever which way, fight that way. I hope he does. Yeah. Fingers crossed it does work out, and this is the season where, because obviously there was big rumours that I can't remember who it was now. Back in the start of the summer, there was someone else interested in him, and we basically went, no, he's not. Yeah, back in May, back end of was
it Villa? Was it
rumours of him going, and basically Arteta came out and said, no, and the club said no. He ain't going nowhere. He's a big part of our plans next for the summer ahead and the season ahead. So, and he's proved, obviously, he's proved fitness-wise, because obviously European Championships was a game every other day for the under-21s. So he's proved fitness. He's proved his fitness in terms of that, in terms of not getting injured so far on that side of things. He hasn't got injured, again, touch wood, during pre-season. It's just got to bide his time, and it will come. I think it will come because of the rotation of Champions League, Premier League, and this, that, and the other. From September onwards, he will get his moment, and he's just got to bide his time till then and just take it when it comes along. And when he does take it, I think we're going to see. I think we will see a different Smith Rowe to the Smith Rowe we saw a couple of years ago when we just missed out on Champions League. And he was I think it was our joint goal scorer that year, 10 goals and all comps and all that, and goals and assists was for his first proper season, unbelievable. I think we're going to see. But as again, that's down the line, and I think he's just got to bide his time between now and then.
The thing is, Trossard can't get in as a starting player at the moment, can he? So, but what a pair to bring on. So second half, middle way through the first half, Trossard and Smith Rowe to come on, and that gives you a serious option, doesn't it? Really, I mean, Trossard could play in the SCF position, couldn't he? Could play in that position, but again, as you said, we've got so many people going to play.
Oh, he's back. Is he back again?
Was I talking to myself then? Sorry.
No, we got you just before you left there.
No, I was just saying there's so many quality players across that front, 4, 5, 6 players. It's difficult to see where they can all squeeze in, because you're going to start Martinelli and Saka and Nketiah probably 9 times out of 10, aren't you? So Odegaard plays. So where do they squeeze in?
Well, that's the thing, and I think that now really shows the improved depth we have in our squad, as you say. And this is what I have a joke with the people who still say, "Oh, our squad depth is not great." Well, let's look at what you've just said, and let's look at the situation. Right, currently not getting into our team, not starting games. You've got ESR, you've got Trossard, who arguably has been our best player so far since pre-season. He's not starting games. Kieran Tierney's not starting games. Jorginho is not starting games, who's arguably been quite good. You've got Tommy Asu. Yeah, he's quite good, quite decent, but still, decent backup. It's you look at these players who are not starting games, and they're good players who would get into most other teams. It shows you how much more improved our squad depth definitely is.
I suppose one of the other things to consider is though that a lot of these players can play in more than one position, can't they? Which is a benefit. If you can play Tommy right the way across the back four, in effect, can't you? Really?
Yeah, and then look at Kiwior. Kiwior's looking so far this season's looking very good as well, and you can play him across the whole back line as well. Basically, there's another one that's not starting that looks good.
So exciting times, eh? And if we can bring in another player, that's even more exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, I was going to ask you guys, which striker do you sort of like realistically think we can go for? I'm not talking about pie in the sky. Oh, who would you love to get in if he was on Football Manager? I'm talking about realistically someone we could go for.
We're not Hoyland United, put it that way.
Sorry,
not Hoyland for Man United, put it that way. So 35 mil they're signing for. He's injured. He's already injured, apparently.
Oh, is he injured? I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I was watching another channel this morning, and someone just said, "Imagine spending £75 million on a player, and he's already out injured. He's basically He's Holland light, basically, with no fitness." So
I think Arteta take Balogun out for a pint, sit him down, and sort him out, and get him to stay on board.
I see Tom in the chat's offering us Willie Gnonto for 40 million Vietnamese dong. Vietnamese dong. That's about 45p. I think that's about what he's worth. But no, I mean, let's talk about Ivan Toney. But the thing for me is, I'm always a bit wary when a player doesn't play for 6 months. When he's not playing all that time competitively, week in, week out in the Premier League. For me, that's a worry. I would be reluctant to bring.
How much would he go for? How much would he go for?
You might get a reduced price from him because of his situation, but it's difficult because would he? I think he would eventually get back to sort of where he was, but how long would that take? Would you get the best out of him for the rest of the season, or next season again?
You don't know his mental state, do you? Because obviously he's got an issue with gambling. Let's be honest. I mean, that's it's that sort of thing doesn't just go away, does it? We've
had those issues before in the club, gambling and drinking. I don't think we need to sort of reintroduce that either, do we? No. I think because that's another thing we don't realise.
Sort of player, is he? I don't think he's an Arteta sort of player.
And that's what I was going to say. I don't think we realise how important that character, that character part of the player, how they are in terms of off the field, their character, their attitude, their the way that their outlook on things, how they approach things. I don't think we realise how important that is to Arteta. And when they look at players, they really do look at that aspect as well as their playing ability. So it's like a whole package,
And I think Arteta's bumped other players for less than that, hasn't he? Over the last couple of years, that he's let players go that haven't fit his profile, and that's it.
Yeah. So there's a player I like, and everyone's going to laugh. It's just I just see so much potential in him, and he's tall, he's strong, he's actually got a good finish on him when he gets a good chance. And I could just see him. I don't think he would cost too much either. You guys will probably laugh, but I for me personally, I can see a lot in him, and that's Solanke from Bournemouth. I can see a lot in him. I really can see a lot in him.
Yes, again, he's got that height to him as well. So if you want to cross it, you've got that variety of crossing it, and you've got the aerial ability there. He knows the league as well.
He scored a good goal, didn't he? In the
West Ham the other day,
yeah.
What about Ollie Watkins? Would you look at him?
He's another good finisher. You know, I think he's someone who's got a lot of potential.
Different type of player, isn't he? Different type.
I could just see him. I could just see Villa now without Buendia and without Mings. They're going to say, nope, no way you're getting him. You know, they're just going to pay 150 million or something like that. You know,
the odds or go away basically. Yeah,
yeah.
The situation they put themselves in now with obviously Mings, and according to their statement today, being out long term. Well, not long term, but for a few months now because he's got to have surgery straight away. But and then obviously Emmy got himself injured before the season even started.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, both good shouts. Again, Solanke makes again as I said, he's got the height. So again, aerial bit. He gives us something different there as well. It's got and he also is good with the feet as well that we saw against West Ham the other day.
I think he could do a good job for us. I think he could grow a lot with us.
And also Watkins as well. It's a good shout because obviously he knows where the goal is. He's a finisher for a striker. That's a key thing.
Yeah,
especially against us.
Yeah. No, I think Watkins is also a good shout. It's just I don't think we would get him at this time because of their situation with Buendia and Mings.
Price would be huge, wouldn't it? I mean, I suppose if you could swap, somebody just said there, if you could swap Balogun for a striker, that would be a good bit of business, wouldn't it?
That puts 50 million down on him, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's got to be players out there you can pick up for 60, 70 million, and there's 40 towards it. Let a couple of other players to go out, and you've recovered your cost, haven't you?
I'm just worried now that any like sort of half decent, talented player, especially English ones, are now because of the whole Rice, Caicedo, this whole ridiculous price carousel with them. I think basically any half decent player now is going to be like 80 million plus.
Especially if they're not at the end of their contract. If they've still got 2 or 3 years left on a contract, the club's not going to let them go, are they? It's just not going to happen. So, yeah, the price level's moved on another scale, isn't it? As you say, like 100 million is now the starting point for a top. And I don't even put Caicedo as a top player, really.
No, he's had one good season. It's promising, isn't he?
He's a promising player, yeah. But it's a lot of money for a player that's only got one season behind. At least with Rice, you've got a whole career behind him. I know he's at a young age, but he's played at the top level for a long time, isn't he?
Yeah. 7, 8 years he's been at West Ham, coming through the academy and all that. So yeah. We knew what we know what we were buying into with Declan, and obviously because he's so young as well. We say about 7, 8 years he's been in the league, but he's still 23, 24 at the moment. So he's still got that. He's still got the ceiling to grow and all that. And he's already said the difference between, obviously it would be a difference between David Moyes and fucking Arteta. Let's be honest. But the difference in terms of what he's been asked for from Arteta already, and he's saying in interviews even at Wembley, I'm thriving off that. This is just the beginning. I can't wait to learn even more and more and more. And that's another thing you have to hear and see. And again, all that again, people need to remember he's only been with us a month and about 5 weeks at least. Declan,
and he's not injured yet.
He's looking good already. He's already looking good. Again,
he's already playing well. Yeah, can't wait until he really settles in. He's going to be huge for us when he settles in.
Yeah.
I just still can't believe
them shots he had at the weekend going in. Do you watch the shots that he had at the weekend and didn't go in? They will go in.
Looking at, been an Arsenal fan for a lot of years, and looking at our history and how we've done business in the past, still can't believe we spent 100 million plus on a player. From the sort of money we'd spend on player. Especially with the Wenger years.
Yeah, I was just going to say, remember the Wenger years when he was
he'd have a price, and that was
struggling to pay, over 30, 40 million.
It was always 50% less than what the club selling club wanted, wasn't it? And there was just a question of occasionally we got one over the line, but to go out and actually up a bid on one player, just after you spent 70 on Havertz as well.
Yeah.
And you got Timber, so you're spending 2 million on 3 players. I never thought I'd see the day, to be fair, but here we are.
Here we are, and it finally shows you that the owners are putting the money up. They want us to compete. They really do.
Well, we are officially.
I said Tony can do it.
Sorry, we are now officially the only sport franchise that the Cronkies own that hasn't won a major piece of silverware, as in like a league title or Champions League.
Yeah, no, you're right. All their other franchises have recently won their trophies.
Yeah,
Guardiola put a high spec on the Charity Shield, didn't he? The trophy. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, again, I'm at the game and I'm watching it, and obviously there's a few times because we was in the corner, me and my brother were in the corner where the sun was predominantly on for like 90% of the game. But so we're literally in the eye line just down of the technical area. 4 or 5 times in that first time, 3 or 4 times in that first half, I'm calling my eye, I see Pep, and I'm like, hang on, and he's literally stood, pretty much holding Arteta's hand in Arteta's technical box, barking orders at his team. And nothing was done or said, and nothing. The fourth official did nothing. Yet the rules been brought in apparently because of Arteta, by the way. But anyone else actually was okay apparently. But anyway, if Arteta had done that, it's all kicking off. But because Pep doesn't, he's passionate and all that. Oh, it's okay. No. And then literally you see him celebrating their goal, which you should do in any game. And then afterwards, no, it's only a friendly. But you weren't doing that when you're celebrating. You looked like you're sucking on a lemon once we were about to lift a trophy ourselves.
I'll tell you what, if Man United won the Charity Shield, Roy Keane would have been babies, wouldn't he? He'd be thinking, the club is back.
Yeah.
We're going to challenge for the league this year. We won the Charity Shield. This is it. Ten Hag's got it sorted. Maguire's out. We're going to be killing it. But because we win it, it's obviously it's just friendly.
Just a little friendly. Yeah.
Just friendly.
Double standards, definitely.
Who cares if you score in the 98th minute? That's going to be a regular occurrence this season, isn't it? With the extra time.
If we win a trophy title, I don't care. We win the title.
You have to rearrange your train tickets. You won't be finishing at 4:30 on a Saturday, will you? You'll be finished at 10 to 6.
Yeah. Oh bloody hell! Yeah. That's going to happen. There's going to be at one point, where the injury time's going to be like, the minimum injury time is going to be like 15, 20 minutes. You'll be like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Well, no matter what, doing that in the Champions League,
8 substitutes.
Yeah.
If you had 8 substitutes, that's 30 seconds per substitute. That's 4 minutes right there.
Then you
got they're doing the Champions League as well.
Celebrations. Yeah. And the Championship as well. They're doing a Championship. What was it? Ipswich versus Sunderland the other week.
Yeah.
I think it was like 8 minutes or 11 minutes of injury time in that game.
Yeah, there's one game with 11 minutes or something at least, wasn't there? I saw.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first game of the season, it was first half. There was an injury, wasn't there? But Newcastle will be playing for 2.5 hours, wouldn't they? The amount of time they wait.
I was just going to say, with the Champions League doing it as well, Champions League nights at the Emirates could start being quite late as well, couldn't they?
11:30 at night, getting out of there on the group stage night. Not even knockout rounds. 11:30 on the group stage. In the knockout rounds, it'd be 12:30.
Yeah, it's late.
Oh dear, but it is what it is. I want to ask you guys as well, and this David. Again, I'll put my thoughts out there on Saturday about this whole David Raya situation. I want to get your thoughts on it as well. Do you? Because obviously it's going to. I thought it'd be announced today, because obviously it didn't get announced before. I thought they'd announce it today, and this, that, and the other, but it hasn't. It's going to be announced at some point in the next 24, 48 hours. You know that. We know it's happening.
Yeah.
Do you think him coming in makes him number one straight away, or is he coming in initially as number 2 to provide the competition, so that's back up to Ramsdale?
I think he comes in as a number 2 to start with, but I think he's putting Ramsdale on warning that you can't make as many mistakes. Fantastic goalkeeper, and against City he kept us in the game, didn't he? So you can't fault that, and he saved a penalty. So it's not like Leno where you bring Ramsdale in and you kick Leno out. Leno had to get injured, didn't he, before Ramsdale came in, and then he stayed in. But I don't think he's going to bring Raya in and then just drop Ramsdale. Can't see that happening. Might be wrong, but I can't see that happening.
No, I agree completely. I think Raya is brought in as a very, very good number 2, very close to Ramsdale.
He's an upgrade on Turner, isn't he?
I just think he's gonna. I think Raya actually beats Ramsdale in terms of distribution, but I think Ramsdale is better in all the other aspects at the moment. But what Raya does is it pushes, like you said, Steve, it pushes Ramsdale to concentrate more and to make sure he performs. Because I'm going to be honest, and with Matt Turner, bless him, for all the everything he tried, Matt Turner was not at Ramsdale level. He wasn't really close to Ramsdale level.
He wasn't competition.
So I think it made Ramsdale just that little bit. He knew he was ahead of Turner. Whereas Raya is going to be breathing down his neck, and Ramsdale's going to know if Ramsdale messes up in one game, if he starts making a couple of howlers in one game, Raya might just get that next game, and then that might be the last Ramsdale gets to start for a long while. That's really, and goalkeepers like, despite what people think, goalkeepers like that competition. Goalkeepers want to be pushed and for them to have someone with them because they train separately, the goalkeepers most of the time. They're training separately in their own unit with their own coaches, and they want someone there to push them and to compete with. It makes them better. It makes Raya better. It makes Ramsdale better. So they both, it's win-win for everyone, the club and for both goalkeepers.
The trick for Arteta is to keep both of them happy, because it's unusual to have two top.
But I think Raya knows that. I think Raya.
He wouldn't come otherwise, would he?
I think Raya very well knows he's going to come in right now as a number 2, but the route to number 1 is not far if Ramsdale's not doing his job. It's as simple as that. And I think Raya will get. I think Raya he'll probably get he most likely will get the cup games. He might get some of the Champions League games as well. Against some of the lesser teams in the Champions League. But I think, Raya that's going to be his role so far this season. But I think if Ramsdale messes up, if he has a game with a couple of real howlers, I don't think Arteta's going to take a long time to think about, putting him in and giving him a chance.
I think you're right. Right. I mean, Arteta won't mess about, will he? If he thinks the team will improve by changing the goalkeeper, he'll do it.
And that's the standard. That's the standard now. And you got to remember now, it's like everyone's complaining, we need depth, we need this, we need competition everywhere. Well, that's what football is now. You've got to be ruthless. You've got to have competition at the goalkeeper level as well. Look at City. They got that Stefan. Stefan's a very good goalkeeper, the backup goalkeeper for Edison. And they've got that third goalkeeper who's pretty decent as well. You got to have competition at all positions to keep people on their toes.
Exactly. Everywhere else on the pitch, mate.
Yeah, so the second that the club do it and include obviously this situation with Raya and all that, the disregard for Ramsdale has pissed me off in the last few weeks as well. That hence the rant I did on Saturday during the match at the end of the match of the day stuff. Because this guy has saved us points and won us games so many times in the we've used 3rd season. So 2 years he's been with us to this point. And suddenly, because Ray's, that's it. No, Aaron, who? I'm just like, show the guy respect as well. The guy came in, wasn't wanted for the majority of his fan base, had to work his backside off, and has grafted his arse off to get to this point, and has become a fan favourite. And obviously, as I say, he's saved us so many times in terms of points or getting us wins over the line, etc.
It's his position at the moment. It's his position.
But I don't have a problem with David Raya coming in for competition. For competition as well, because as I said on Saturday, for how many years since the David Seaman and the David Seaman manager situation, how many years since then have we had our number 1 and then our number 2, number 3 aren't good enough to push them, and they just get a bit lackluster, feet on the beach, and they know no matter what they do on the pitch, they're guaranteed minutes, no matter what. Because after that expanding, because David Seaman has famously said publicly that time he was out, and it was during the 97-98 season, he was out, his manager deputised with him. that was a wake up call for him when he saw how good Manningo was. So as a wake up, and David wasn't a spring chicken back then. But it was a wake up call for him, and he thrived again. Like you say, he thrived off that. It made him a better goalkeeper going forward.
Yeah, pushed him.
And obviously, when Manningo left, he brought in Richard Wright, and Richard was meant to be the protege to David and take over him fully for club and country, and that didn't work out because
It melted.
there was levels to this thing, and I mean, it said a lot. It said a lot about Richard Wright as well. That literally what he was brought in to be the protege, the number 2, and eventually take over. And we 4 months he was number 3 to Stuart Taylor.
Yeah,
and that's
he just melted. He melted because he had those couple of games where he made a couple of real howlers, and it just mentally broke him.
Yeah, I think the Charlton one was a funnel nail in a coffin. I think he punched it into his own net somehow. Even though he punched it that way, he punched it into his own net. And then obviously after all that couple of years, obviously when David then eventually leaves Man City, we Jens in, and then he's back up. Who was Jens? Was it Graham Stack? Was his number?
Graham Stack was back up, yeah.
Graham Stack for the first season, and then Graham Stack got loaned out to Reading or something. I don't know.
Have you heard some of the stories about? Sorry. Ryan, finish just about the goalkeeper, and then come back to me. I got a funny story about Jens Lehmann and Graham Stack.
But so saying about Graham Stack, the first season it was Graham Stack. So again, he knew he was fine. But obviously, the first season, Lehmann wasn't that bad. He wasn't mad German Lehmann like we know him for nowadays. And then obviously Stack got taken, sold or whatever, and then obviously Almundia came along, and then he was thinking, "Fucking, this is fantastic." So he put his feet up on the beach. He thought he was okay. Got dropped a few times. Almundia deputised, was even worse. So he's thinking, "Why, hey, I'm back in. Why, hey." And then when he eventually did get dropped, Almundia was number 1, and look how long he was number 1 for. And then we had. And Almunia's back. He's number 2 and number 3 were fucking like Wojciech Szczesny, Fabianski, Vito Malone, and to name a few. None of them were good enough to push, to eradicate Almunia for fuck's sake. And then Petr Cech or Spina wasn't good enough, and everyone knew that, including Petr. So hence why you'd get the howlers, and as I say, it's Man United go 1-0 up, bastards. So finally, we have a competent goalkeeper to push our number 1, and everyone's either writing up to the current number 1 or complaining about it. Yeah, and I just don't get it. I really don't. You want the competition, you want the depth. We give you competition, we give you the depth. You complain. What do you want?
It's like they can't. It's like they can't decide between. Oh, they want the competition and want us to push on and do better, and then there's all that sentimentality. Oh, but he's such a nice boy. Oh, I don't want to see him. I don't want to see him lose his position and leave the club or whatever like that. Like it's that whole sentimentality FC thing again. You know, it's like we can never decide between the two. Our stupid, fickle fan base.
And the thing is, when these rumours came about initially about David Raya, before it became more concrete, Aaron's dad was on the hybrid squad with Sophie. And obviously she had to say, look, we need to obviously the elephant in the room is obviously what's your thoughts on it? What's Aaron's thoughts on it? And Aaron's dad came back and said, basically, we're both on the mindset of bring it on. He thrives off it. Apparently, Aaron thrives off that. He wants that. He wants to be pushed. He wants to know that there's someone there lurking to keep him motivated.
Yeah.
And obviously,
anyway, I got a funny story about with Graham Stack and Jens Lehmann. I was because it was one of the it was one of those podcasts. I think it was either one of those Foz with Ben Foster or one of these others. But there's a few podcasts going around now with ex-footballers, and they're really good. And one of them had Graham Stack on, and he was talking about his time at Arsenal and with obviously being with the Invincibles. And you know, it's such a shame really because you know he's basically a pub quiz question, isn't he? You know, it's like who was the backup goalkeeper for the Invincibles, because everyone knows Lehmann was our goalkeeper, but not many people really know Graham Stack was the backup goalkeeper that season. You know, because he basically never played. But But Graham Stack, he's talking about his time at Arsenal. He came through the youth ranks and everything, and he did his time on loan here and there and all of that, and sort of earned his place back as a number 2. Wenger liked him quite a lot on that, and he just knew he wasn't at Lemon's level, and everyone basically knew he wasn't at Lemon's level. So, he basically wasn't ever going to get a look in unless Lemon got injured, basically. And anyway, he was talking about Lemon in training because that guy was a nutcase. And in training, because they, as I said, goalkeepers they train alone in their own unit with their coaches, and that's basically there's 3 or 4 goalkeepers will train together.
Yeah, little pitch thing.
And Lemon used to, because he knew he was number 1, and it's all about showing you number 1, and it's a bit of that intimidation factor, and that you're proving you're number 1, you want to show you number 1. And so what Lemon used to do, he said this in so many of the training sessions, he never talked to any of the other goalkeepers. He wouldn't talk to them. And what he did was, he had huge hands already, right? He would get gloves that were even bigger. He would get gloves in training that were even bigger than his standard match gloves. And he would walk around like with his hands out like that, to show how big and massive his hands were, like some kind of cartoon character. And he was just, and he was looking at people and, not really talking to them. And Graham Stack just said he was terrified. There's Lemon in training was terrifying. He was so intimidating. I could just imagine that crazy German guy just staring the other kids down, basically, and he's got these like comical big gloves on, stretching his fingers out to show how his huge hands are, and. I could just see it, just how ridiculous that scenario must have been.
Yeah. Sounds about right when you think about it.
Yeah, it was a nutcase. It was an absolute nutcase, but quite a good goalkeeper as well, let's be honest.
He was a good goalkeeper, and obviously had a few mistakes in him on his second season onwards, but not as much as Almunia, but less said about that, the better. But anyway.
Yeah, I can't believe, like you say, Ryan, I still, to this day, it shows in what such a poor state we were in behind the scenes and everything. Yeah. That Almunia, our second goalkeeper, who comes in the Champions League final, lets in that Belletti goal of the near post between his legs. Yeah. Basically shows everyone what donkey piece of crap he is. And he becomes our first goalkeeper for the next 3-4 seasons.
Yeah, no matter how bad he was as well. Again, I say every now and then I've got the DVD review things, and every now and then when I was bored shitless during the lockdown, I'd watch them, and it'd always be in that fucking. It'd do a few clangers and an X amount of games at the back end of a season, and it'll cost us a title because it'd always be the question as well. The following season, is he number 1? And was it? I remember one year. Roy Hodgson had just become Liverpool manager, and there's a big debate over will Almunia or Fabianski be number 1. And Wenger did this whole thing, you're going to find out on the day. I'm thinking, please, anyone but Almunia. And then the lineup came out. I had a breakdown. I was like, no, this ain't happening. I've had enough. Season's already over. He got again in that game. He's all about near post. Got his near post by in fucking Ngog, whatever his name was. He was just a crap goalkeeper.
He was very average.
Yeah. It turns out, Brad Fiedel was on the Sky Sports the other day, and he was saying that basically after that invisible season, in that summer of 2004, that Arsenal actually had gone to Blackburn to try and buy him, basically. But he didn't find out until afterwards, until Blackburn told Arsenal to piss off.
Yeah.
But basically, and because of that, we ended up with fucking Almunia. So thank you very much, Blackburn, for that one. I'd rather have Brad Fiedel at that time. Brad Fiedel was a good goalkeeper as well at that time.
He was quite solid goalkeeper. He was sturdy, wasn't he? He sort of gave you
number 2 as
sturdy performance.
As a number 2, he would have been decent as well, just to fall back on.
Yeah.
But no, we ended up with Manuel for what seemed like at the time seemed like an eternity. Again, I don't get it. I never will. I never will. And then what was it? Manoni came in for a bit, and then he got put back to number 2.
Yeah, Manoni was huge. Yeah, huge potential. Apparently, he was one of the top goalkeepers in Europe as a kid, but just didn't fulfill that potential.
Craig's asking, does anyone know how much Casado is on a week? Don't really care. He's at Chelsea. It's got to be stupid money, but I don't really care.
It's going to be well more than what he should be having anyway.
Yeah, basically, you're probably looking around 300, 400k a week, probably. Again, don't hold me to that. It's when you see who the owner is and how he splashes the cash. Let's not bother worrying about it. But yeah, I will say this though. Again, I've got on my other screen here for the listeners. That's why I knew about the Man United scoring. I've got on my other monitor screen the game on. Wolves actually look half decent. Wolves are away from home.
Good at counter. I've got the game on myself in the background here, and they're good at counter attacking, aren't they?
Yeah. Almost scored there. Wolves did. Considering they've just lost their manager and Gonil's only just come through the door, they've lost their striker Jimenez to Fulham. They ain't playing too bad tonight.
No, they've had a couple of good chances.
Yeah, but Gazza at Rangers, that was.
Gazza, what a nutcase he was! Oh my god!
But he was a fantastic player. He could get away with it. That's the thing, because of how good he was as a player. He could get away with it. But yeah, no, he had a couple of little vents, but nothing full on this time. No. The times you keep mentioning it, guys, I actually might just do a one-off segment each week of me just coming on and ranting about putting the world to us and ranting form, just for you guys.
Yeah, rant of the week or something like that. Yeah, that's a good idea.
This is what pisses me off this week.
Yeah, this is grinding my gears this week.
Oh dear.
Did Steve leave us then? Was he? Technical issues again?
Yeah, technical issues. He did put a DM saying lost connection and couldn't get it back. So yeah, don't know what happened there, but yeah, as I say, it's been a while anyway. I see him outside again in the his little mini bar area. But yeah, I'm not going back to where I'm not concerned. And again, I know going back to the game itself, I'm not. It was again. As I said earlier, the scoreline sort of gave more credit to Forest than they deserved, and over the course of the game, they only really turned up for the last 10 minutes, basically, once they got that goal. Then Langer got on the pitch, but I'm not worrying yet, basically, because it's match day 1. We've got our 3 points. Frustrating as frustrating as the last 10 minutes were, we'll learn from that. And I think Palace on Monday, you'll see a definite 11. It will be our strongest 11 because it's Palace away under the lights, and we all know our history of Palace under the lights majority of the time anyway. I think we'll see our strongest 11. So I think we'll see obviously Ramsdale in goal. They'll be on the bench for that either way. Ramsdale in goal. I think we'll see, because of the situation with Timber, I think we'll see. I'm trying to think. Ben White at right wing back, whatever they call it, right back. Centre back will be Gabriel and Saliba, and I think we'll see Kiwa at left back, if not Tierney, one of them two. But it'll be one of Kiwa or Tierney. If Tierney's not in that, if we get confirmation between now and then saying that Timber's out for a few months, and we still don't see Tierney coming on, as in starting or anything like that on Monday night, then we know he ain't long for it, basically.
It's probably a good sign he's out.
One off segment about 2 hours, says Stefan. But one
good old 2 hour rant.
Week, random show coming on ranting, putting the world to rights. Of me just ranting, basically, about something that I care about. That's just
Be the local laundromat or something like that.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, as I was saying, in terms of the keyword.
There was one thing I just wanted to raise before we go.
Yeah. Go on.
One little thing I think was worth talking about. Just see what your take is on it. And that is one little thing that sort of concerns me. Well, there's two things that concern me about this season. I'm only going to so far about this season, but I just want to talk about one of them now, just for time's sake. And that is the fact that you think about it throughout our pre-season and what we've seen already so far in that first game. I find it a little bit unnerving, a little bit sort of worrying that Arteta hasn't still put together what really is and what should be our best back four. We haven't really had a proper solid back four that should be, that was, like it was last season. And, for me, that it has affected our stability. We saw in the preseason, we had so many mistakes. We had quite a few moments where it didn't look great defensively. And then we had the same against Forest now, where we had our moments that didn't look good defensively. Some of it down to Partey, obviously, playing a role he's not used to. A lot of their joy we saw, like you said, in that period when they were attacking us, on counter-attacking us and doing well. It came down our right-hand side, our right flank where Partey was. And I don't think that's a coincidence. And again, it's down to, Arteta's selection defensively. And as I'm thinking, I'm a bit worried about that our defensive stability might not be there, might not be as it should be, because we're basically yet to see and play with our best back four, and that's something. Will we see that? Will that come back to the way it was? Or are we going to keep seeing, basically inconsistent performances?
Yeah, I think I didn't realise about it. Yeah, but on Saturday, yeah. But yeah, looking back at it now, yeah, in terms of the games, yeah, he didn't actually have a settled back line. He's always tinkering with it, doing. Oh, that's fucking hell. Okay, I didn't realise that before. So yeah, he's did that in the bud. Find out. Use this week actually. We don't play till Monday now, so he's got 6 days to basically just pick his strongest back line, as well as his 11, obviously. Back line and stick with it. Just stick with it. Otherwise, we're going. Oops, 7 minutes injury time. Okay. Otherwise, we're going to be in a situation where no one's settled. It's always moving about. And as you say, we'll make more mistakes, lead to more goals, and before you know it, won't be in the title race. And then it'll all kick off. The fan base have a meltdown.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. I'm worried about that. We need to. Arteta needs to stop this tinkering and sort of just get that back four settled.
Yeah. I think you've got 6 days. I think we ain't got the time to mess about, because before you know it could be a Champions League draw, and then we've got the Champions League starting next month, and then off we go. Basically, you can't be back and forth. Oh, we haven't got a back line. We haven't settled a back line yet, but we're going to keep tinkering. Then, no, you tinker when we play the big guns, basically, i.e., the big gun in our Champions League, whoever that may be from pot 1. Aside from that. You tinker in terms of tinkering in that Champions League. You only tinker against the 3rd and 4th team if they're crap. If it's worth the risk, basically. And even then, don't go fully overboard to an extent. Just tinker a little bit. Don't learn from mistakes of last year and what could have been a mistake on Saturday on another day. But I say in terms of last year, he's not the first way on my birthday. I'll never forgive him for that. Well, we'll win it anyway, so we're going to put right back, top part at right back. We're going to do this, we're going to do that, and just go, oh, fantastic. Happy birthday to me. Yeah, we lose 1-0 at the Forest and Man City win the title. It's like, fantastic.
Oh, God, yeah.
I'm live for all this. I'm sitting through this live on my birthday, mate. Yeah. Anything else? This year, though, this season with the league, it finishes the day before my birthday now, on the 19th.
Oh, really? Okay.
So I'm just like, actually, you could make up for it this next year with a league title at the Emirates, maybe. I'll forgive you then, but if you don't, I'll hate you forever.
That would be nice, wouldn't it? It would be nice.
It would dampen the pain for the last 20 years, quite literally.
Yeah.
I've got a question before we go. Where do you see Arsenal in the league after the first 10 games? We've got obviously Red Forest.
We've got some tricky games in there. It's going to be tricky, but I think we'll do well. I really do. I do feel confident.
Yeah, we've got Everton away at some point. I think just after or just before the international break. I'm just having a look now. 1 sec. I think if we can go, that we need. The thing is, we need to go to grounds like we famously struggle at, like fucking Goodison. I can't believe I'm saying this, but Goodison Park. We need to go to Goodison Park. And this is the last season, by the way, that we go to Goodison Park, because next season at their new docks or wherever it is. Matches. Here we go. So we've got Crystal Palace match day 2. Match day 3 is Fulham. Match day 4 is Manchester United, and then there's international break by the looks of it, because we don't play from after that till the 16th. So yeah, so right. So it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is Man City, 9 is Chelsea. Match day 10 is Sheffield United.
Yeah, so we've got United, City, and Chelsea in there.
Yeah,
in those first 10 games. I think City's the tough one, isn't it? I think the other games are definitely games we can.
The indicator one. Again, I'm not. Again, I know it's only the first game of the season and all that, but I'm not. From what I've seen in the second half of United, I'm not afraid at this moment in time. But again, we need to sort ourselves. We've got a few to sort ourselves out, but we do need especially by that game at the Emirates against United. We need to have a settled back line and a settled 11 in general. Injuries permitting, obviously. But I think that aside, I think the indicating game is, as you say, Man City at home on the 7th of October. Sorry, well, it stands the 7th. Could be better.
I'd love to beat City now. Can we finally beat them, please? I would love to do that.
Is at home as well? It is at home, so we have to. And I don't want to tempt anything, but I don't want any monarchies passing away this year, because last year we were meant to play Man City at home in October, and our monarchy died, and then we had to rearrange fixtures, and this is the fixture we had to rearrange, and then got Man City at the worst time possible.
Yeah.
I think So I think Palace. We can beat on our day. If we turn up, we don't do what we did a couple of years back. We can turn up and do that, no problem. Fulham at home, I think we'll win it comfortably, going from what I've seen of them pre-season and on Saturday. United.
Do you reckon that's a penalty, Ryan? Onana just basically attacked the bloody Wolves player, isn't he?
Bloody hell! To see it now, Jesus, the players on the floor.
I mean, the goalkeeper can't do that, surely. I mean, come on.
Oh no! I've just seen another go. Oh no!
He's nowhere near the ball either.
It's got to be a pen, surely. They've got to check it at least.
They are checking it.
What's he doing?
I'm just saying, it looks like a penalty to me. It's nowhere near the ball.
The ones that are obviously watching the game or obviously listening to this back and apologise.
No, he's going to go to the screen and what's going on?
For the listeners watching this back, I do apologise, but obviously within the 95th minute of injury time, as we were doing this
to the screen now.
podcast, he's going to the screen. Well, we know it's going. Then we know it's coming. Come on, Wolves.
Oh, is he not? No, he's going to the manager.
Oh,
he's giving the manager a yellow card.
And
the manager's going. No, the Wolves manager obviously has protested. He thinks it's a ridiculous decision because he didn't. I don't think they've given the penalty.
Oh, this is a joke.
I mean, he's come out, the goalkeeper, that Onana, obviously to try and attack the ball, but he's nowhere near the ball, and the Wolves player is just jumping up as normal to try and head the ball. Onana just clattered into him with his arms and
like that.
Just basically pushed him right over. How is that not a penalty? Oh, I don't get that. I really don't get that.
No, literally, I'm watching it, and Onana's literally, he's literally got his arms out and has gone onto the play, onto in between the player's head, basically, onto his shoulders, basically. And it's completely talking about it. No intention for the ball. How that? But it's Man United at Old Trafford, and Howard Webb, he runs a show, so he might be in HQ going, "Don't you dare give that penalty."
Oh, it's a terrible decision.
Know what old Howard Webb's like.
Wolves have been they've been attacking this goal the last 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
I was over the course, from what I've seen in the second half, they've been a better team. They were unlucky to be losing this. And that's saying something. I don't want my effects to go down.
Yeah.
I thought they'd struggle about Jimenez and all that, and losing the manager the way they did. But sorry, it's also as I say, so Man United's going to be the indicator of how our season goes. I think at home, I think we're sneaked at. I think about 2-1, 3-2, something like that. Everton away, as I say, we have to go there and win. We have to. There's no if, buts, or maybes.
That's that bloody Goodison Park, isn't it? It's always a bloody bogey ground for us.
And then obviously them not down the road come to us. And I think, again, after what I watched them yesterday, on our day we expose them. They are absolutely screwed, and they will get exposed, and we will batter them.
Well, their most dangerous player, he always scored against us, old Harry Kane. He's not there anymore, is he?
Yep, he's gone. He's gone to Germany. He's gone to Germany, played the final, lost the final, and had a presentation today.
Took a curse with him. Took his Kane curse with him.
Bournemouth away, Vitality Stadium. Again, win. I think we win that comfortably, 3-0, maybe something like that. We usually do down that way. City, as I say, City's the indicator. The players know they found a way. They know they can beat this Man City side now. If not draw, they know that, and that they know how not to lose now.
Yeah.
So it's at home. It's gonna be. I think it'll be a 1-goal swing either side, but I think we can either nick it or get a draw. I'll take that. Draw, win or draw. Worst case draw, I'll take all day long at this moment in time. Obviously, we're near the time we'll reassess it, but that's even here and there. Then we've got Chelsea at the Bridge. Oh, there you go, full time. Chelsea at the Bridge. Again, last 3 years.
Tougher now.
Could be tougher, but I think the last 3 years though, we've won there.
Yeah, it's gonna be tougher. I think we come away with at least a point.
Yeah, I think at the very least a point will come away with that, and we've got Sheffield United. If we play basically in terms of that question, I think if we can play our cards right, we can be in the top two. I'd say possibly second, a point or two off of the top, whoever that may be. But we just take it again between now and Man City in particular. We just got to take it game by game, and also people need to remember after the international break. So I think from Everton between Everton and the top, we've got match day 1 of the Champions League. So Champions League will come into play after the international break. So we've got to throw that once we know our group stages and all that, who we're playing and when and where. That'll help us assess things in terms of how league form, rotation, this and the other. But just say we've got Everton, and it'll be a Champions League game, and then Tottenham, and then Bournemouth, and then between Bournemouth and City is another Champions League game, I believe, in between that, and another one in between Man City and Chelsea or whatever.
Yeah,
we just got to take it as it comes, basically. But just people need to remember, fixture list on the website now is what it is. But we do have a Champions League group stage to contend with as well, which will consist of a team from the Champions pot outside of England. So hopefully Barcelona or something like that, or maybe was it Feyenoord won the Dutch league? I'll take Feyenoord. If I'll be honest, out of the Champions pot. I think Feyenoord. I think I'll take Rangers from pot 3. If Rangers qualify, or Celtic, I'll take one of them two.
Yeah.
And maybe a Shakhtar or something of that ilk from pot 4. Whoever's in pot 4, I don't know. But we'll see. There's no immediate this is what we've got to look into. Didn't you draw? No, we wish. If we'd drawn, the irony is, we'd have 3 points off the title in the end. But no, was it bloody Sean Dyche's first game in charge? Lampard gets sacked. Sean Dyche comes along, and a Burnley player scores a Burnley type goal. The irony. And we fucking knew.
Yeah, no, it looks pretty decent, really, to be honest. I mean, the old Sean Dyche, I think, I don't think he's. I don't think Everton are as dangerous with him as people think they are. I think we'll have a good chance against Everton. But the thing is that it's bloody playing them away at Goodison Park. Always, it's one of those grounds things just never go our way, do they? When we go there.
Yeah, we also sort of fucking fight our asses off. But the irony is, We play them at the Emirates. We push them to the side basically 9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
Craig saying we need to beat Man City at least once this season. I think we will, but we'll see.
Yeah, I really hope we do.
Ryan, is it true that Gabriel's joining Saudi for 16? No, I've not heard that.
That's just rubbish.
There's a Saudi Arabian club interested, but there's no indication. I'll even double check now whilst we're live. I'll double check, make sure nothing's come out.
I think Gabriel's interested in going, to be honest. So
no, why would he? He's just signed a new
what
contract.
are you going to do in Saudi? Honestly, what are you going to do? You're not going to win anything there that means anything.
Well, he's not money motivated either. He's not one of them that's chasing the money. He's a young lad, as I mentioned earlier on. And it's just Al Hettiad is in the very that's from some random account. That's not even a blue tick. There's not even go to that crap.
Yeah.
Presenter, sports broadcast journalist, and then BBC Arabic or whatever it says, and he's added himself into the in his bio, but no, the biggest load of literally. I'll go now. Just to prove the point, I'm going to find David Ornstein because anything Arsenal related in this summer, good or bad, he's the one that drops the bombshells at this time of night. He's been in the habit of doing that. I even checked for Bitshow as well. Last tweet from David was 4 hours ago about Romero Lavio has chosen to join Chelsea. Liverpool among clubs looking at the Real Madrid guy. So no, nothing from David Ornstein. I'll even check in.
Silly rumours. There's been rumours for a while trying to link him away, but it's rubbish. It's always the same.
It is. I'm just making a point now. Is it just going to the two most reliable ones in terms of David Ornstein and Fabrizio? They're the ones. If anything is happening, they'll be the ones that will be pushing it.
Yeah, Ornstein's been really on point, hasn't he, with Arsenal so far this season?
It all started with the Smith Rowe situation. He was the one that dropped the bombshell that obviously Arsenal and Arteta had no interest in selling Smith Rowe. It just kicked on from there. Timber. David Ornstein was the first one to drop the Timber information to us.
Yeah.
And again, nothing on Fabrizio. I'm just looking now. No. The only Arsenal-related tweet from Fabrizio was about 2 hours ago about the Timber situation. Was the official Arsenal statement on Timber injury. Timber has received extensive scans which have confirmed he has sustained an injury to his right knee. Julian will undergo further detailed review with a consultant to assess the full extent of the injury. That's the only related thing, Arsenal-wise, from either of the two. So, no. Yeah. And I've said this plenty of times throughout the summer and plenty of times off during the season last year. When it comes to transfer business, there's only two people you need to take notice of. David Ornstein, because obviously he has ties within the club as well, because hence why he has had multiple interviews with Josh Kroenke and all that.
Yeah.
So David Ornstein and follow up with him, backing up Fabrizio Romano. If any other journalist that you know of or don't know of is spelt in anything Arsenal related or football related in general, take no, unless David Ornstein or Fabrizio's backing it, take no notice, because when for example, the whole Declan Rice situation before we put our last bid in and all that DiMarzio lad from Italy, Sky Italy, he's 100% us and went with chest on Twitter. He's a Man City player. Anytime now, it's all done and dusted. Look how that played out. And he worked with Sky Italy, and Sky went with chest themselves in the UK and used his source, as in him, to put out, no, it's off to Man City. And I said at the time, I said, now, wait to David Ornstein and Fabrizio to say something. They don't back it up straight away. Within the hour of him putting that out, it's bullshit. And it was. Yeah. So, as I say, take no, unless it's one of them two, take no notice, because it's just, otherwise, if you took notice of every journo or so-called journo spouting rubbish about transfers in general for your club, be it Arsenal or whatever, you'd never fucking rest.
No, and also so many of them are just attention seekers as well, aren't they? They just
There's that as
go
well.
out there and try and get a bit of clout and get some attention and get some followers. And 99% of the time, it's just absolute rubbish. Just made it up or got it from somewhere else.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Arsenal
Russell
gerbil.
Gerber, basically, what's his face? It was Mike, innit? Yeah, Guna Mike.
Yeah, if you know, you know. Oh dear, Vass as well says, got a question before we go. Do you think Liverpool still have the pulling power, or is it just the money at Chelsea?
I think it's the money at Chelsea, really. I really do, because I don't think Liverpool has enough to entice them away from that money. I really don't. So that money means so much now to players, doesn't it? It really
Especially
does.
if they've got to say they've got what 7 or 8 brothers or sisters combined, or altogether 7 or 8 siblings. Financial wise, that's going to be a massive
Chelsea just overpay, don't they? Chelsea just overpay and overpay and overpay.
I mean, look at Modric. I know obviously he didn't have much to do yesterday. He came on yesterday, but he's not exactly pulling up trees so far. Know how much they spent on him, and we got Trossard for 27 mil. But hey, they got a better deal apparently. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh dear. But with that, we've been going near 2 hours. Bloody hell.
Yeah, it's about time for me to move on now, I think.
Move on now. Get some rest. I've got to then render this, get the audio for this sorted and up for the listening side of things, and then sort the thumbnail out for Wednesday, because we will be back. I will be back on Wednesday morning, 11 a.m. kickoff. So 10:30, I'll be going live. I'm concerned of us saying this, but okay.
Russ wants to join me, obviously. That's what he's hinting at.
Of course, that's why I'm concerned.
He's in the bushes out there somewhere tweeting now, isn't he?
Yep. But yeah, 10:30 Wednesday morning, England versus Australia in the Women's World Cup semi-final. So hopefully the girls do one last big push to get to that final, and then we're playing. Obviously, we get to the final. We've got to watch them on Sunday as well for that. But yeah, so yes, Wednesday that's that. So 10:30 we go live, 11 o'clock kickoff. Hopefully, it's a 90-minute game and not a entire bloody 2.5 hours basically plus penalties sort of situation there. But I will be live for that. I'll be going through the rigmarole of stress, trauma, and everything else possibly happening with an England game. But hopefully, the girls, Alicia Russo, being one of our new sons as well, pulls up like she did on Saturday and does the job. I'm trying to think now. And at some point this week, me and Sam will be coming back to do the kit rankings show that I should have done last week, but things got caught up in us. Yeah. But we will do that this week, and Sam will be slagging off pretty much the entire country. Apparently, it's true. Okay, Craig, out of interest,
where does he get it from?
I was about to ask. Can you name me these sources, and I'll go now and I'll tell you if it's Billy bullshitters or not. Because I've just gone on David Ornstein's thing. He's tweeted nothing about Arsenal, and Fabrizio's only thing he's tweeted about Arsenal was about Timber all day. If it was true, anything about Arsenal, or that's true, they're both on it within the hour of some a credible source putting it out there from another media outlet. Oh, everyone's talking about that makes it. That's what it is.
Well, that makes it true, doesn't it? Everyone's talking about it. It must be true then.
Okay, I'll Sam. I'm going to go on Twitter after this, about half hour's time. I'm going to start a rumor. We start talking about it. That's true.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll spread the word to get more people involved as well, so make it really, really true.
Stop. Please stop believing everything you see. It doesn't mean it's true.
Out of interest, Craig, are you Luca in disguise? That's
not Craig, though, is it? It's not Craig.
It's got to be Luca in disguise. It's got to be.
It's not Craig. It's one of the. It's not Craig, because Craig is not like that.
No. It's got to be Luca in disguise. I'm sorry. It's the same.
It's one of Luke or one of Luca's handles, probably. Yeah.
Oh, probably. If fucking will surprise me. Got to be careful because I might be bullying him. Fuck off. Well, you got to. Oh, no,
here we go. You'll have egg on your face if it happens, mate. Pretty confident it's not going to happen. All right.
You know what?
Pretty confident it's not going to happen.
this is going to be part of the audio as well. It's not Luca. Okay. You're saying there's a lot of things that Luca would say, hence why I'm asking. Anything I've seen it for fucking donkey's years of him. He sees something, it must be true. No matter who
I remember the backwards and forwards with what? Who was it? Was it
Molina and all that crap?
no? Who was it? The backwards and forwards. There's the transfer. The Rice, wasn't it? My God.
The Rice thing. Oh my God.
Oh Jesus.
It's happening. It's not happening. It's happening. It's not happening. Oh, Man City made a bid. We're a disgrace. And even today, he's put tweets that going because he's
Rush, you dirty slag.
Because of the talk of fucking Timber potentially being an ACL. Oh, how are people overrating this transfer window now? How can I say it's an 9 out of 10 window and Timber's now injured?
Sack the medical staff. Sack the medical staff. Sack them all.
Yeah. I want to get
that's tweet that. Right in the chat.
Person as well. So yeah. Let's not go there. Let's not go there, Russ. But
Russ,
I'm going to say this now to Arsenal since '87. I'm so confident Gabriel will be an Arsenal player after the transfer window closes. He's not going to Saudi. He has no interest in going to Saudi. I'm that confident. I will put my channel on the line. That's how confident I am.
There's no reason he would go to Saudi. He's not at that stage in his career. He's young. He's just signed a new contract. He loves being at Arsenal. He said he loves being at Arsenal. He said he wants to win things at Arsenal. Why would he go to Saudi Arabia? How old is he? 21, 22? What is he?
He's 22, 23, I think. I'll double check now. But either way, he's back playing Champions League football for the first time in his career as well with Arsenal. Yeah. It makes no sense. Why go for this rigmarole over the last few years? On the Arsenal website, it'd be easier.
They're going for players who are heading to either in their twilight or heading towards their twilight. That's the players they're going for.
Just getting it up now. Let's get his profile up now. 1 second. He was born in 97, December 19th, 1997.
So that makes him what?
So 26.
Nearly 26.
Now. It'll be 26 in
25.
December.
So he's 25. So he's got another 5 years left at least before he needs to start looking at his last contract and things like that. He just signed a 6-year contract with Arsenal.
Yeah.
He just signed a 6-year deal, so it takes him to about 31, doesn't it?
It's got to be him. It's got to be because he's now saying things that he would say to me privately.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if it's true or not.
Well, you just literally said it's true. So make your fucking mind up, mate.
I know what I can't be doing with this. This is not looking good on the audio side of things either. Listeners will be thinking, what the fuck is going on? Why is it dragging on so long? Absolutely, when you talk about BS walks, well, BS is this Gabriel situation. It's complete BS. Right. Contracts mean fuck all nowadays, but no, he's even publicly put it out there.
Maybe Gabriel doesn't trust in Arteta. Well, then at least you can't be an Arsenal fan, then can you? Whoever Arsenal is, 87 is.
I also have a secret listening to that. Jesus Christ. It's got to be. I'm sorry. And I'm going to get fucking half. Last time I mentioned that person we just mentioned. Within half an hour of my last show that happened, other people randomly messaged me. What are you bullying Luca for? How am I bullying him? He sent me this. Listen to it. Okay, he overreacted. Sorry. Oh, follow my channel. Fuck off.
In Arteta, I trust. That's a typical tractor statement, that isn't it? The old people who follow the tractor boys.
He's just ecstatic, Stefan, because his team's second in the league in the championship, and he's after 2 games. He can't believe it.
Football now and again. not that potato kicking football over in Ipswich.
Pretty much. Oh dear, but with that, I am out of here. Sam is out of here. Yep. This will be out soon. If you are new to the channel, do smash that like button, do subscribe and all that jazz, and do share the content, and it is massively appreciated. And as I say, next time we'll see you will be on Wednesday, 10:30 in the morning, not even in the morning, UK time. Until then, guys, as always, up the Arsenal. Come on, you guys.
See you later. Come on, you Gooners.